welcome to another classic guitar video. Tonight's guitar is very special. I got to meet with a friend of mine today, James Kottak from Warrant, from the Scorpions, and from Kingdom Come. This was his band back in the 80s. That's him right there, James Kottak, K-O-T-T. AC, Kottak. I have to spell that a little slow because it can be a tongue twister. A really great guy. Again, he's formerly from Scorpions, like I said, Warrant, Kingdom Come, etc. Very good drummer. He's a guitarist too, although his guitar is not his main instrument. But today I got from him a very special 1998 Epiphone limited edition Studio Les Paul in light blue, or some people might call it teal, and some other people might call it a dark seafoam green. You be the judge. But it's a very cool guitar. It's kind of rare in that it has the pearloid accessories on it and the white knobs, and it's a pretty cool piece. It's a little bit thinner, typical Les Paul. It's in very good condition considering it's technically an antique. It's 21 years old. So again, it is from James Kottak, formerly of Scorpions and Warrant and Kingdom Come. This is his shirt. He gave me this today. He gave me another shirt, which I will switch out during intermission, and I'll show you that shirt. But it's a very cool guy, and this is a really neat guitar. I think this guitar is going to be a keeper, unless somebody offers me some really good money for it, and even then I'm not sure. I'm probably going to get more guitars from him anyway, because we've struck up a pretty good friendship, I think. So, really cool guy, really great guy, nice guy. Came out here today with his lady to drop this guitar off. So, and he did include a nice Gibson hardshell case with it too, so it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and have a look at this very special guitar on this very special stream. Again, it is a 1998 Epiphone limited edition Les Paul Studio in light blue or seafoam green or teal. You be the judge. To me, it's light blue or baby blue or sky blue. Again, a lot of blues to choose from in this particular shade, so again, you be the judge. And again, this is one of his groups that he started in the 80s, Kingdom Come. And let's just go ahead and get right started on this guitar, and we'll show it to you. So here it is, and it's a real beaut. And here it is. Again, Epiphone 1998 Epiphone limited edition Les Paul Studio in this beautiful color, and it's actually in very good condition. It is missing a pickup screw, and the bezel is cracked on the bottom here, which I can, and it's cracked here a little bit. I think I can glue them. I don't want to replace them because I want to keep the guitar original, if at all humanly possible. So I will probably super glue those. Here's the back of the guitar. The tuners have been changed out. They are Shaler's. They're pretty cool. They're pretty decent. I think somebody replaced them at some point. I don't know if he did or if he had another tech do it or whatnot. But I'm going to leave them on. There's no reason to change them back out to original ones, although I do have a 1998 set that I could conceivably swap back out for him. But I don't want to do that because these ones had to have holes re-drilled, so I don't want to be drilling keep drilling holes in the back of the headstock. So I'm just going to keep it as is. So let's go ahead and plug this sucker in and test play it. I took the guitar basically sight unseen, minus a few pictures he sent me, and I didn't even test play it. I just, I took his word for it, and he's a friend, so no reason not to trust him. A good guy, and I consider him a friend, so here we go. We'll give it a test play and see what it does. Oh, there we go. I didn't have it turned up enough. Make sure all the knobs are turned up. clean that. Switch is a little iffy, but that's alright. Knobs are a little dirty. I think he said he only played it a couple of times or a few times, so you can expect the pots to be crackly, and the switch to be crackly. So we'll fix all that. These switches are very easy to service. Very rarely do you have to throw one away and replace it, because you can take them apart and clean them and put them back. So jack seems good. The switch gets better and better as I use it, so might have been a dust bunny or something up in there. That's okay. So we know it works. So it's out of tune and out of intonation and everything right now, so I'm not gonna pick it up and play it. Just for that reason. So there is that. So yeah, pretty cool guitar. I'm a very cool, well-known guy. So yeah, there you have it. So I'll go ahead and I will take the knobs off. Those knobs are on there pretty good. Yeah, some knobs are on there better than others, so you just bide your time. You don't want to force them off, because you don't want to pull the shaft out with the knob still attached, you know. Sometimes you can use the two-handed method. I can get them up. So I think I will abide by that, because I don't want to use this rocker. Even though it's plastic, I can mar the finish up or put little tiny dents in it, particularly when a knob is really hard to get off. So I'll just work on this one a little more and we'll keep going. Just go a little bit at a time. There we go. Now it's off. Very good. And we'll take the pick guard off, which is very cool perloid. It's not a color that a lot of people like. I like it. I have a lot of guitars colored like this. But I'm probably going to put a very high full pop retail price on this, because I don't necessarily want to sell it, but if somebody is willing to give me my price, I will sell it. So I am going to have him come back after I've done my thing to it, and he'll autograph it, and we'll take a full spread of pictures together and whatnot. So he was running a little short on time today, so I didn't have time to ask him to spend 5-6 minutes to wait around, take pictures, and all that good stuff. So that being said, go ahead and we'll tighten these. They're slotted, so, or I mean they're flat screwdrivered. So. So I like the flat screwdrivered ones. They're very. You can tighten them a little better. Only if you use the right screwdriver. There we go. Now I got the right screwdriver. does help if you use the right screwdriver. I like to go fairly tight on these type that have the slotted rather than a Phillips, because then that kind of acts as a makeshift locking tuner head. Not a locking tuner, but a locking tuner head. So. I'll show you the back of this headstock where it says limited edition. A little hard to see because the heads are kind of dark color. Okay, very good. Use the other screwdriver to tighten the set screws. Yeah, these tuners are going to tighten up really nice. And these are good quality tuners. I use these a lot. And they're very good. You can't go too wrong with these. You just really can't. I'll go ahead and take the back panel off. Let's go ahead and tighten the strap buttons first. Good on this. I'd like to finish it tonight. I think I will. About the only thing that'll hold me up is probably gluing those pickup bezels. I'll use super glue, and they should be fine. If they won't take glue, worst comes to worst, I do have new white Epiphone / Gibson pickup bezels I could put on them. Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. Okay. We'll check the switch and make sure it's all copacetic. Up. Oh, be careful. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. So I'll blow it out and make sure there's no dust bunnies up in there. We will double check the all the connections and make sure they are soldered well. Make sure that is not an issue with the static we were experiencing a few minutes ago. So we'll take a picture. Okay. Everything looks good. I'll go ahead and I will put the cover back. Inspect the screws. Look good. Everything is original on this guitar, 100%. Well, for not the tuners. Yeah, I should have asked him if he had the original tuners for it. He probably doesn't. The guitar's 21 years old, so and they weren't in the case, so I'm just going to go ahead and assume that he does not have them. take the back electronics cover off of it, inspect and take pictures. There's very little buckle rash on the back of this, which I'm very happy with. So that adds to the collectability and value of it. So still has the inspection sticker on it, rather. I always blow the dust out of the heads of the screws, because if it's too hard to pick these out, you can take a removal device to remove the boy, that's I'll have to flip it over, I guess. Yeah. Okay, I know where it went, so it doesn't matter. Okay, there's the electronics cavity. And we'll take a look at the electronics, make sure they're good. And oh yeah, steel braided on the ground, so that's good. 500K pots. And the jack looks good. I will, of course, tighten the tang on the on that. Tighten the tang. You want to tighten the tang. And then we'll tighten the. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to put it on its edge. Now I can tighten it. Okay. That should work in tightening the jack and the jack plate.
You use the latest technology to treat patients, but your care and compassion is timeless.
So the frets and the fretboard have basically no wear. So that's a plus, I'll tell you right there. A little bit of wood chip right in there that just fell out, and I'll take a picture. Yeah. Nice picture. Everything looks copacetic. Make sure the wire is out of the way for the jack. Everything looks good, so back goes the cover. Back goes the screws.
You have my sincere apologies. I was carried away with my work.
I'm a patient, aren't I? Doesn't that make me part of your work?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I don't know what I was thinking.
The strings are new, so I'm going to leave those on.
Well, I've got news for you, Doc. I'm all talked out. It's time for you to cheer up one of your patients and take her mind off her impending doom.
You're not doomed.
I feel better already. See how easy that was? Now, keep going.
What should I talk about?
How did they let you out of medical school with this kind of bedside manner? Are you sure you're a doctor?
I graduated, second in my class.
And we're especially proud of that, aren't we?
I have a feeling that it's going to take me somehow as to crawl out of this one sizable hole.
Tighten the jam nuts on the pots.
Personal assurance that high quality crystals. I won't get them at this price anywhere else on the corner.
real slow with these because they're old. Again, 21 years old, so. And I do need to replace the screw and the spring, unless they're down inside there somewhere. Okay, let's detune it, and then we'll tighten the jam nuts on the tuner. Tuners are tight, but that's the way I like them, you know. Go ahead and take the bridge down, take it off, and take the tailpiece with the strings off. Ooh, the nut's loose. Definitely gotta fix that. Okay, unless it's floating nut. No, it was glued, so I gotta re-glue the nut on there. Okay. Something to add to the list. Need to loosen the string a little bit more. Whoever put the strings on didn't exactly put enough lines on the strings, so okay, I'm gonna have to do it the other way, which is loosening the nuts here. Now we're cooking with gasoline. Okay, take pictures of the frets and fretboard. Not too bad, it's a little dirty, but it's par for the course. Pictures. Okay. The t-shirt he gave me is brand new, so it's a little hot and a little scratchy. It hasn't been washed yet. That's okay, I wanted to wear it tonight. It's a celebration of him, so I will live through it. Not a big deal. forgot to show you the back of the headstock, which I will do after we polish it. How about? Okay. Alright, here we go. Okay, I did extra on that. Extra. Because it's an extra special guitar. So much so, I will take a during picture, which I don't do too often. Okay, here we go. Fresh rag. Pretty dirty. It's coming out beautifully though, I'll tell you that. Nice. And that looks like the rag has dirt on there already, but those it's just shadows because I'm crinkling up the rag. See how I crinkle it, and it looks like it's already dirty when it isn't. Okay, so here we go. Get started on the in-between fret edges. It's going to be a little harder tonight because I trimmed my fingernails tonight, so after I took a shower, so it's like my fingernails are a little sparse than usual. That's okay, I'll muddle through it easy enough, I think. harder to do without my fingernails, but I didn't trim them all the way off. I never do, but I'm getting it done. It's just a little harder without my fingernail being a little longer than it usually is. That's okay. We'll get it.
Take it so hard, so you can't mix your personal life and your professional life. Most people can't. I certainly can't. I once served on the same star base as my sister. Oh, what a nightmare that was.
I look forward to reading this. I'm sure I'm not the only one around here who feels the same.
If you ask me, everyone on that ship would use the R&R.
So again, this is a 1998 Epiphone limited edition Les Paul Studio that I just got from a friend of mine. Pretty cool guitar. Got it from James Kottak, formerly of Scorpions, Warrant, Kingdom Come, etc. Really nice guy, really great guy. He dropped this guitar off to me today. So yeah, pretty cool. Should be able to finish tonight. I don't foresee any problems so far, other than re-gluing the two broken pickup bezels. So I will re-glue those and they'll glue overnight. I also have to glue back the nut, so I will do that also. We will glue the nut back on it. That will be no problem at all. Halfway done now. It's a little bit dirty on the fret edges, not too bad though. Fretboard's in stellar condition. I mean stellar condition. The frets have almost zero fret wear. I mean, it's amazing. Like I said, he said that he didn't play it much, so it just kind of sat in its case, and that was it. My back wasn't that great today or last night, so I'm kind of struggling with my back. But I wanted to do this the same night that I got the guitar, same day. So I opted to just do it. I could have done it tomorrow night, but I thought, nah, you know what, no. I will just do it. I won't think about it. I will just take my shower, get changed, and do it. And we are getting there. Sorry I'm not talking much. I'm trying to just concentrate on this fretboard, so we're almost done. We're on the last 5, so.
Some mysteries are better left unsolved.
Last 3. Last 2. Last 1.
Captain Kottak just lost consciousness. She's in the last stages of CO2 poisoning. If she's got any chance at all, we have to get her to sick bay in the next 45 minutes. Captain, there's no way it'll find and penetrate the barrier. The air is composed of subspace neutrino radiation.
Okay. Fold this pig up and it's ready. That was warm. I mean, that was warm. I need to get a fresh drink here in a minute. Picture first, though.
This is Kate. She takes 2 prescriptions. Kate Sunjack takes 1 too.
Oh yeah,
Kate works hard.
absolutely stunning. Alright. Take a break and get a fresh drink and I'll be right back.
To find the best discounts. She even beats her insurance price. Kate, good for you. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions. Download the free app today. Life doesn't have to be this hard. Just because you lost your car insurance. At the General, we make it easy to get affordable car insurance. Payments are low, and you choose your payment due date. Get your hassle-free online quote and ride with the General. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Oxygen therapy doesn't have to keep you at home. Now you can get the oxygen you need without missing out on the life you love.
Okay. I'll open up my windows because let some fresh air in here. 75 degrees in here, wow. Another 10 degrees in here and I'd be running my smoke cooler or air conditioner. I'll tell you that right now. Let it blast a cool air from outside in with the fan. Okay. Alright. Excuse me. Okay, have a look at the frets and fretboard. Just amazing. I'll move the guitar in along with that. So you can see. Yeah, look at the frets and fretboard. Just amazing. I'll bring the camera in. That'll give you a better view of the frets and fretboard.
Call the number on your screen or visit our website to learn how to get your Simply Go Mini today.
Options. Could we be through? No. We can't get close enough to the barrier to initiate.
There's a headstock with the studio name on it. I'll show you the 12th fret.
Unlikely the shuttle could withstand the gravimetric stresses that are within the barrier.
Unlikely, but not impossible. I didn't come all this way to give up.
There we go. Beautiful. Came out nice. Let the camera refocus again for a second. There we go. Beautiful rosewood fretboard. So we'll take these out, which I forgot to do. One of the last things we'll do is glue that fretboard in, or fretboard, but the nut in. Duh. What I'll do now is I'll take the bezels off now so I can glue them, and they can be gluing while we do other work. And again, in the off chance they don't glue or don't glue right, I can replace them. I do have new ones in white. I'd rather not because I want to keep it original, but do what I gotta do, and you know, do what I gotta do. You know what? I guess it'll be alright. Because if I take these off now, the pickups will be flopping around, and when I turn the guitar over to polish the back and the back of the neck and back of the headstock, etc., they'll be flopping around. Well, can't have everything, so yeah, I can't have everything. Oh, hey, look, there's one of the springs. So I do have one of the springs. So that's good. That was very, very good. Maybe the screw's down there. That'd be nice. And the screw is not in there. Which is a shame. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, it's got the steel braided pickup here, so that's pretty cool. Okay, well, go ahead and unscrew this. And then I can put a new find a new screw for it. Comparative screw. And which I have. I've got all these parts new: screws, springs, anything I need. So there is that, if need be. If need be. I'd like to take a picture of the bottom of the pickup while I have them off. Do I need to? Do I need to? No. Do I want to? Yes. Zebra color. Oh, it's got some handwritten information on the back of this. Some hand-etched information. So I think, yeah, I'm going to take a picture of that because yeah. So I will do that. Oh, cool. Okay.
Next on H&I, Star Trek Voyager, followed by Enterprise, then Hunter.
I'm gonna have to manually focus it. So I'll change the settings on my camera. There we go. Okay. Put the settings back on the camera. Interesting. Okay. Now when I flip the guitar over to polish the back and all that good stuff, I will very carefully do it. I'll probably put a rag over them and then flip it over and leave the rag there, which is typically what I do. So, because you don't want the pickups to just be flopping around, because then they'll scratch everything, you know. So you don't want that. Let's go ahead and adjust the pickup pull height. I should have done that first, but it's okay. And the pull height's really, really low. I don't know if that was done purposely or not, but I will adjust them to factory setting, if you will.
What are we supposed to do?
Well, drink, sing songs, laugh, cry, talk about the deceased.
It sounds almost Klingon.
Sometimes you get some of the wax. You want to try and get the pieces of wax out, because if you go and try and polish this afterwards, then you're going to take the wax with you. And you don't want that. So you want to take up all these little pieces of wax with a screwdriver or end of a Q-tip or something of the like.
Sounds good to me. But we'll talk about it over dinner. You cook?
I just wanted to say that, although I only talked with her for a very short time, I really admired Lisa Kottak. I care about her, and I'm going to miss her. And another thing, contrary to public opinion, I am not the arrogant, self-absorbed, godlike doctor that I appear to be on occasion.
It's a little too high, half turned down.
Can I hear anybody objecting to that statement? Well, I will if you insist. I insist. But I object. Thank you, Miles Edward O'Brien. No, I have a heart, and I really care about all of you. Even though sometimes it would appear that I care more about my work. To the woman who taught me that it is sometimes necessary to say these things, is a crucifix.
Okay. That one's a little high, so half a step down.
I never shook her hand.
Okay.
I never saw her face.
Now get the pickup pull heights adjusted. Now we'll take this one off. I gotta sit down because of my back. I'm making pretty good time on this. We're at less than an hour, 50 minutes. Again, this is a 1998 Epiphone limited edition Les Paul Studio that I got from my good friend James Kottak. He's formerly of the Scorpions, Warrant, Kingdom Come, which is the shirt that I'm wearing right now. A really cool guy, really great guy. I picked this guitar up from him today. And yeah, very cool piece, very spiffy piece. I like it. I don't necessarily intend on selling it. I will sell it if somebody gives me, probably $550 to $600 for it. It's probably what I'm going to put on it, because it is a special guitar from a special person. But other than that, I don't necessarily want to sell it. And when I get done with this, I'm going to have him come back, and I'll treat him to lunch, and his lady to lunch if she happens to be with him. And I'll have him autograph it, and we'll take some pictures together with it. And yeah, I just kind of do my personal collection, like I said. Yeah. These are braided too, got the steel braided, which basically tells me these are Gibson pickups. I'm sorry, had a little brain hiccup there. Yeah, they are Gibson pickups, if you will.
Though it was a blatant violation of the Prime Directive, Kirk saved the Pelosians from extinction, just as he had the
So I'm going to take another picture.
many years earlier.
This one has both screws and both springs, so that's a plus.
Completed his historic 5-year mission. And one of the greatest chapters
If I can flip this over without scratching the guitar so I can take a picture. No, I'm going to have to take a picture of it upside down, which is fine. I can just flip the picture upside down when I go to edit the pictures in my software.
I was trying to be thorough. I could shorten the report.
That won't be necessary. You obviously know the subject matter.
Okay. So yeah,
You have just passed early.
very good. I'm ecstatic about these pickups. And just makes the guitar worth that much more in terms of monetary value. Which is nice, but again, I don't necessarily want to sell this guitar. I will put it kind of on a cursory for sale list. It's double springed too, so it's got, that's interesting, it's double springed on one side. And I keep all my screws in order and springs in order, so that way I put them the exact screw back in the exact place I took it out of. Now some people think that's kind of neurotic and I really don't need to do that and I shouldn't do that and blah blah blah. But I do that anyway, just, I don't know, just for kind of the hell of it, I guess, for lack of a better term. So I will show you guys what I mean by that here in a second. So I'll get the camera here. I'll show you a little bit of my workstation. So here's what I mean by keeping the screws in order and the knobs in order and everything in order, so that way I can put them back in an order. Now, do they have to be like that, the screws? Nuts, bolts, screws, and washers? No, they don't. The pickup bezels do, because they have a front and back. But I do like to do that. It just kind of adds to my attentiveness to doing the guitars. And I think it's pretty awesome to do that. Now this pickup spring was double springed. It's got an original spring in there, and then it's got a smaller spring in there. And that was probably put in there by the factory by somebody when he ordered this guitar. So I'm gonna keep it's on this side, so I'm gonna keep it on that side. I'm not gonna switch it or anything. I'm gonna keep all that original. So let's go ahead and start polishing the top. Again, the frets are in good condition, so I don't need to do anything to them. So there is that. Find a clean side of my rag and start polishing. And there we go.
The last time I saw him, he was an infant.
4 years ago, he was done. You called me adorable.
You remember?
I may have looked like an infant, but I was still a cute.
Maybe you should have picked a better godparent. However, it's too late to ask Sheldon.
What do you want, kid?
While Junior's taking a little vacation from the Continuum, I recommended he met with you.
Okay, so yeah,
He's awfully
I like this guitar a lot. It's got no issues that I see, so
It was time we had some first-hand experience.
I am flattered that you would entrust me with your first born, but I really don't have time.
He's as quiet as his church mouse. You'll forget he's even here.
we're gonna give this a nice polish. It's got a couple scratches on it. I can't eliminate them, but I can certainly lighten them up.
I make my own.
Well, these I can eliminate because they're just surface. Some scratches you can eliminate 100% if they are on the surface. Ooh, this one's on the surface too, so I can eliminate that one. I think I can eliminate most of that. No, that one's gone past the surface. So, yeah, okay. Okay. I think he's going to be thrilled when he sees the condition of this guitar. Not that it was in bad condition when he gave it to him. He was just kind of dirty more than anything. Just from simply being in the case and being handled by fingerprints and things of that nature. So I think he will be ecstatic when I show it to him. There is a nick right here on the edge with a piece of paint missing, paint chip, unfortunately. But that is all. Everything else on this sucker is copacetic. Whew.
Can I help you, kitchen rat? I thought you and I could spend some time together. Excellent maneuver. What are you watching? What's it look like? The battle between the Bojangles and the Dars. We passed through that region a few minutes ago. They were at peace. Not anymore. Watch this.
Put a rag down because if I turn this too far, it'll dig into the body, and I don't want to do that. And I gotta flip it around, do the edges of the pickup cover.
You talk too much. His jaw's been fused, and his vocal cords removed. I might be able to undo some of the cosmetic damage, but only Q can restore his voice. Take that to the bridge report. I've got a surprise for you, Captain. Come see.
Grab another rag here so I can finish polish it.
You said I should pay attention to how you humans act under pressure.
Yeah, came out nice. It's got some wear on the pickups, strumming wear and whatnot, but all in all, it's pretty darn good.
My mom washes the dishes before she puts them in the dishwasher. So what does the dishwasher do?
Cascade Platinum does the work for you. Pre-washing and removing stuck-on foods the first time.
Wow, that's clean.
Cascade Platinum.
Remembering when to change your fridge filter is a hassle. Remembering the right filter is almost impossible.
Be careful not to.
Filtersfast.com, we have some good advice for you. Forget it. Instead, remember this. Go to filtersfast.com and check fridge filters off your to-do list forever. You can get the right filter delivered right to your door for a fraction of the
Okay, well, it's a little hard to work with like that, but I need to do it like that because I need to glue the. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta glue the pickups. Nabbit. Okay, let me polish the top of this, and we'll do that.
Life can be a struggle. There's an easier way. Try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. Just wet, squeeze, and erase
Oh yeah, it's coming out nice. Coming out very nice.
They're perfect for taking messes on stovetops, in microwaves, and all over the house. For an amazing clean, try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. And now, new Mr. Clean Magic Eraser sheets.
Looking to simplify your skincare routine without sacrificing results? Try Olay Total Effects for a 7-in-1 solution. Its unique formula is packed with vitamin C and C to
I gotta stand up now because my back's hurting.
healthy glow. In fact, a single dose provides more vitamin B3 than 50 cups
You know, like I keep saying, all in all, this is in pretty darn good shape. I can say he took good care of it. For not this chip that's missing out of the one little corner here. You know, I was owned by a rock and roller, so you can't fault him for having one chip on there, that's for sure. I mean, I've seen and worked on celebrities' guitars that were just, I mean, absolutely atrocious. This is pretty darn cool. This is pretty darn good shape. I cannot complain too much, that's for sure. Hey, look at that. Look at the body on that. She is a beaut. She is a beaut. Now, gluing these, I think I could probably use this board that I was going to use for that acoustic guitar. Glue the bridge, re-glue the bridge. I'm going to lay this on top of it, I think. And then put a heavy wrench or something. One of my wrenches or something on top of it, or a bottle of polish or something. And that'll help glue it. I mean, they're not supposed to be completely flat. They're supposed to be a little curved because the top is curved, so you don't want them too flat. So we'll see. Maybe I can glue it by hand. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna have to bust out a new tube of glue, so I'll do that here in a second. Brand new tubes of glue. Nothing special. Just from Harbor Freight. From the harbor. Okay, we'll open this one up. I bought these a while back. They should still be good though. Excuse me.
He isn't so bad once you get to know him. He's just misunderstood.
Okay, I think I'll glue the
No one was hurt. I repaired
big
the
one
damage to your
first. Should I polish it first? I'm gonna polish it first because me polishing it's gonna put some pressure on it. And I don't want to re-crack it. So, and yes, I will be getting my fingerprints on it again, but next time around, when I finish polish it, I can polish it with a lighter hand. One little scratch on the edge of the pickup here, pickup bezel rather, but it's not too bad.
You can't just dump your child on someone and hope he learns something. He needs to be parented.
And how exactly am I supposed to do that? Q was the first child born in the
I'm just going to go very slow and carefully because this is a 21-year-old piece of plastic. It's been in a case that may or may not have been hot and cold and then hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold, so I'm going to be very careful.
It's the only way he'll learn.
Of course. Once he gets to know me better, he'll idolize me. Then he'll do anything I say. Kathy. You're a genius.
I've made a full sensor sweep. There's no sign of any more work vessels.
The boy,
He's gone.
I want my quarters. You have the bridge.
One little spot I gotta.
I take it back. You're not a genius. I should have known better than to take the advice of a human. Q, your brilliant plan didn't work. I smothered the boy with attention, spent every waking moment with him, but things only got worse.
You've been gone for less than 10 minutes.
Temporary maybe. But in Q time, we spent years together. Now he's embarrassed to be seen with me, and it's all your fault.
My fault.
Tell me how you plan to rectify the situation.
What happened after you left Sawyer?
You got away from me. Rearranged the tectonic plates on those who cried.
Did you punish him?
Well, I tried. Apologized to all 16 billion Bozelians. But he got angry and stopped talking to me.
So you beat him?
I told him he could shift as many continents as he liked, as long as no one got hurt.
You're not going to do yourself any favors by indulging him. You need to make him understand that there are consequences to his actions.
Consequences? Kathy, I take it back. You are a genius. I think that's long enough. What was that for? What's wrong? You didn't enjoy life as an Ukrainian amoeba?
No, I was shapeless and slimy. The only thing to eat was paramecia.
Sounds unpleasant. I'm sure you'll do whatever you can to avoid returning to that petri dish.
What are you talking about?
The Continuum and I have come to an agreement about
So we're just polishing the plastic bezels, the original ones, so I can glue them.
cosmos, or you'll be
And then when they're done gluing, I will wipe them off again, put them back on the pickups, and hopefully they will take to
to change
the
your
gluing.
ways. I suggest you make the most of it.
And they should
Fine.
glue just fine. So I will be very extra careful to glue them with super glue.
Temporarily relieved you of your powers. I'm sure that you're on your
And yeah.
You're leaving me here?
I thought we agreed that you were going to take the more active role.
So here we go. I'm going to glue the big one first.
both know that you're certainly a mommy to this crew. Just look how quickly you houseboat that board drone.
It's taken years.
Okay, here we go.
You're asking me to change your son in 1 week?
I'm sure you'll think of something.
What if she doesn't?
Then it's single cellular city for you, my boy.
I'm getting off this ship.
Gateway to security. What
Okay.
you no longer have, Q, is unlimited control of space, matter, and time.
Okay, now I'm just gonna have to kind of rub the glue back and forth a little. Rub the excess off. And hold it by hand, very careful, for a few minutes.
The petri dish was less cramped.
Get some sleep, you're going to need it.
Before.
I'm preparing a curriculum for you to follow while you're here. You're going to learn this thing.
Should have wiped the glue off a little better.
Don't tell me you're actually going through with Q's plan.
I may not approve of his methods.
And then I'll probably put a drop of glue on the opposite inside, and that'll give it kind of a bridge of glue. Ooh, almost dropped it. Kind of a bridge of glue, and that will glue it better, make it stronger, I should say. I'm just going to sit here and hold this for about 30-45 seconds more. And then we'll put that bridge of glue on there, do the other one, flip the guitar over and polish the back, and then the sides, and then the back of the neck, and the back of the headstock, back of the tuners, flip it back over, polish the top of the headstock. And you got to take the truss rod cover off and do truss rod check and or adjustment.
I'm E-Check. Oh, I know who you are. You're the drone with the Gert fixation.
It would be wise to follow Ichev's example. By applying himself, he's become a valued member of this crew.
Can I see you naked again?
Okay, this isn't the best super glue in the world, but it should be sufficient. So I'll let that sit. And then I'll do the other one, and then I'll come back and glue the bridge. You just need like a dot of glue. I mean, just like literally a dot, and that's it. You don't need to go. You don't need to go ape shit over the glue.
The mining rights to a planetoid. Your job is to settle the dispute.
These aliens mean nothing to me. What do I care if they can't get along?
One of your responsibilities as a Q is to maintain order in the universe, right?
So I've been told.
Well, if you can't help these races come to an agreement, there might be a war. The Alpha Quadrant would be thrown into chaos.
Okay.
Why don't we try running the first
Very
scenario?
carefully piece this together.
I can do this myself.
Make sure it's level.
If you want to try.
Sometimes if you're careful, you can feel, if you rock it back and forth, you can feel the flatness of the crack. And then you can glue it accordingly.
Security's right on site.
Computer? Resume program.
The planetoid is in Nausicaan space. It belongs to us now.
You can't intimidate us. We have as much right to mine that dilithium as you do.
Aren't you supposed to be supervising our young guest?
He says he doesn't need supervision.
And you accepted that?
Of course not. I'm just giving him a chance to fail. They don't have time.
Settling the planetoid predicament didn't take very long, so I used the rest of the time to convince the Cardassian to apologize for the occupation of Bajor. How's that for order in the
Now
universe?
very carefully set it down.
It's so nice to see you this evening.
And just leave it alone. Now I have to put the cap back on this glue, and I can't put it back in the package because the package sets horizontal, and it'll glue it together. I found with these Harbor Freight glues, And then I gotta find a way to use up this glue within a few days to a week. Otherwise, it will go hard. And then that'll be it on that glue. And no, they're not much. They're only like $2 a package, but money's money, and supplies is supplies when doing a guitar. So anything I can save, even if it's $1 or $2, you know, I do it because at the end of the year that could be $100 or more.
Insightful, informative. I'm impressed. Too bad you didn't write it.
What do you mean?
I recognize Chip's style anywhere.
He gave me a few notes on my first draft, that's all. I negotiated a peace treaty between 6 belligerent species in just 13 minutes.
Okay, sorry, I had to adjust my hair was getting in my eyes, so I had to primp here off camera. Don't want to primp. I gotta primp. Okay, I have to remember when I'm flipping this over, I need to do it carefully, otherwise those pickups will flop out. So I've done this many times, most of the time successfully, so I just need to grab it in such a way. Just kind of like that, very carefully. Don't set the strings on the fretboard. Make sure it's on my pad, centered, and yeah, there we go, not bad. We'll continue on. We're at an hour and 20 minutes, so making pretty good time on this. Hoping to be finished the next hour, I think, is fairly attainable. I really like this guitar. You don't see too many of these in this color. So although James didn't mention it, I think it was special ordered. Because I haven't really seen one like this. And it's ordered factory with Gibson pickups. And I can tell it's factory because, for one, everything, all the parts are factory, and the soldering is factory. I know the difference between factory soldering and somebody else's soldering work. I just, over the years, I've learned to know the difference and tell the difference. Now, some of you might laugh at that and say, yeah, you can't tell. I actually can tell. I actually can tell quite well. Okay, I'm going to stand up to do this because my back's hurting a little bit. Yeah, pretty good. I'm pretty happy so far on this. I really am. No problems, issues, or glitches yet. I need to very carefully polish the sides. I'm going to pick it up, and sometimes the pickups will actually stay in the cavity if you kind of jam them. Not jam them, but place them in there in such a way where they won't flip out like they just did. So I need to polish the sides. I think it'll be okay. I mean, I've done this enough time over the years, I'll just be very careful.
10 minutes later, I had the exact coverage I needed at a great price. I even picked my payment due date. Let the general make life easier. Call 800 General or go to...
I will just be careful.
With top food, your dentures race full. Dental Max Hold gives you the strongest hold ever to lock your dentures. So now you can eat tough food without worry. Fixident and forget it.
Okay, Mom.
I'm not picking it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. I'm already clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong just cleans that.
Okay,
Enjoy the go.
yeah, just do this very carefully.
You're taking a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, no wandering in car lot.
Very carefully, very slowly.
This is Charmin. Download the app today. Your digestive system has billions of
Generally
bacteria
don't like to do it that way, but
Realign yourself.
I've done it enough times to
And try a Lime gummy.
get away with it. So,
To help support digestive health.
and the pickups are in there tight enough to not flop around
It's been 4 days.
a foot or anything. They're pretty tightly wired, so it's not like they're gonna flop around, like I said, a foot or 6 inches or anything by any stretch. So.
This is for you. It's a new draft of my essay. I know you didn't ask for one, but I felt I owed it to you for giving me a second chance.
IQ, an insider's view of the continuum. The essay's half as clever as the title. I'm sure I'll enjoy it.
Lieutenant Ferris has offered to give me a piloting lesson. I thought you might like to join us. Thanks, but I have to help crewman shells from the plasma bundle.
I think you've earned a break.
Okay, flip it back over very slowly and carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
I can do the back of the neck. Oh, it's holding me up. Something's holding me up and I don't like it. I'm gonna have to get my fingerprints on the pickups because they were starting to go cattywampus.
What do you say? You want to turn at the wheel?
Okay, that's good. Much better.
Ordinary circumstances. Did I do something wrong?
Just a little ion imbalance in the impulse drive. Nothing to worry about.
Well, it's very distracting. Can't you fix it?
Well, I could, but we'd have to go back to Voyager and run diagnostics. If you two don't mind cutting your lesson a little short.
That won't be necessary. In fact, I barely hit it in your ego.
You're what?
Okay, put these sideways, the tuners, so I can polish the other side of the tuner knobs, if you will.
Oh, you can't get away from me that easily.
It's only been 5 days. Why are you back?
Oh, I thought I'd just pop in and check on Junior. I'm not an entirely uninvolved copy.
Well, he got off to a pretty shaky start, but he's made some progress since then.
Really?
He's been working extremely hard.
We're talking about the same cube.
If you don't believe me, maybe you should see for yourself.
The continuum has been perceived in a variety of ways. A dreary desert road, a blood-soaked battleground. But with the help of Voyager's crew, I began to perceive it in another context. A home. I look forward to the day when I return there and make that perception a reality.
Well,
late for my temporal mechanics lesson.
Heal.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'll be on my way.
You worked so hard on that paper, the least you could have done was tell him you were proud of it.
But I'm not. And frankly, it's a little hard being
Oh my.
He's been here for 5 days, and what have you taught him? How to scribble essays and play with holograms? What's next, basket weaving?
Whether you really believe it or not, your son has made progress here. He has the potential to be a better Q than you will ever be.
Potential isn't going to be enough for the continuum.
Then what will be enough?
The boy needs to demonstrate nothing less than exemplary Q-ness.
And what exactly is Q-ness?
Oh, it's impossible for your minuscule mind to comprehend. But I know Q-ness when I see it. And this is not it.
Perfectly fine. Well, what about you? I thought you might be upset by Q's reaction to your essay. It's impossible.
Okay, back of the headstock done, back of the tuner's done. Flip this baby over very slowly, very carefully.
If the continuum decides they will take you back, I'll ask them to let you stay here.
I don't think they're aware of the deepest fraternity.
Okay. Take a little break and then glue the little dot that I said I was going to glue.
I don't want to be human. Like my father. When exploring the galaxy, it pays to ask important questions.
We're an hour and a half, doing pretty good. I'm going to check the strength of my glue to begin with, because it's rocky. And gluing a second glue on it's not going to do much for it. Jeez, glue. Criminy. Almost lost it. Jeez.
Clinically tested electrical muscle stimulation. It gets your leg muscles moving, increasing fresh, oxygen-rich blood in your legs and feet.
Oh man, that's quite a lot of glue. Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to let that sit because that's a lot. Ooh yeah. Put a little too much on that one, so I gotta be aware when I do it on this one here.
My granddaughter asked me to dance with her. Well, I can't turn down my granddaughter, right? So I danced 2 long dances with her, and I would never have been able to dance without Roberta.
It makes a big difference. Quality of life. It's nice to have that filling back and have the control.
Okay. I have to let those sit until probably 12:30 before I put those back. Let that dry, you know, because yeah. So, which I'm fine with. That's fine. Whatever. What else can I do? Oh, I need to take the truss rod cover off and then polish the truss rod cover and do a truss rod check and adjustment. So we'll do that.
Visit our site today.
You don't have to live with pain. You just have to take the leap and try reviving.
I'll take this time to glue the nut back on too. I'll check the nut slots, nut string slots, and That can be gluing. I'm not going to use super glue though. I'm going to use a breakable glue in case somebody needs to take the nut off again. Primarily myself. I'll show you the studio truss rod cover logo.
I want to show her I can do things for others without being asked. I'll help you on one condition. Name it. You won't refer to me as Itchy in front of the senior officers.
Okay.
You can start the pre-ignition sequence. Understood. I'm not detecting any ion fluctuations. We did it.
Okay.
You can power down the engine now. You. What are you doing? You're gonna love this. I once learned how to open a spatial flexure using nothing more than a deflector array. Flexure? It's like a tunnel through space. I'm gonna open one to the Klasic system. Just wait till you see the female. Active. You would need the captain's permission to leave Voyager. Do you think she'd give it to us? No. Then there's no point in asking. You've been doing so well. Why break the rules now? I'm bored. Eject to security. They can't hear you. I've dampened all outgoing communication. Just sit back, Itchy. Enjoy the ride.
Okay. Oh. The strings came off the grid. Okay, no big deal.
They'll find you. I may not have my powers anymore, but I know plenty of cosmic nooks and crannies where to hide it. Voyager's locked out of the thruster beams. They're so predictable. They're opening some sort of spatial rift off their port valve. It's disrupting the vector beam.
Compensate.
Oh, another one came off. That's alright too.
They're gone. Welcome to the Klasic system. What would you like to do first? Take a dip with the mermaids of Goldsboro? Challenge the warrior goddess of Vector in a grappling contest? What I want is to return to Voyager. Forget that dreary shit with rules and regulations. We can do anything we want here. Go back to Voyager. Apologize to the captain. She'll help you. It's too late. She said one more violation, I'll be thrown off her ship. I'm pretty sure this qualifies. What's wrong? There's a vessel approaching.
You're trespassing into Kottak space.
We were just leaving.
The laws require that you be incarcerated. Pending an investigation.
How long will that take?
Disengage your engines and prepare to be boarded.
Okay.
As he says.
Headstock's coming out nice.
Because he is a bigger ship. Because Captain Janeway has taught us to respect the laws of other cultures. I should have known better than to bring you along. You're going to get us killed. Do you expect me to surrender? You might have locked us up for years. You don't know that. There's no time for debate. I need you tactical. Shields are down to 30%. 60%.
Alright.
I'm opening another lecture. We'll go to the Zoze you said, you're never going to learn anything if you don't face the consequences of your actions. If your little playmate has to die to teach you a lesson, so be it.
You know the best way to kick off your morning? Strong coffee?
Trying to get in the nooks and crannies of all the little nooks and crannies here. Okay, let's have a look at this nut.
Listen, I'm still half asleep. Haven't had my breakfast yet.
It's the Good Guys at Sunrise. Weekday mornings starting at 5 a.m. 4
Give it a
Central.
little once over with my
Right here on H&I.
thing here.
Olay Ultra Moisture
My Scotch Brite.
Gives skin the nourishment it
Just
needs.
real lightly,
It keeps
just to
it there
get,
longer
just to
with
kind of
lock-in moisture technology.
brighten it up.
Skin is pedal smooth. Because your best skin
Ooh, I gotta go out in the shop and get the glue, bright glue, not super glue. No, not super glue.
Pancaked on Priest from Oven Doors. Now Mr. Clean Magic Eraser comes in disposable sheets. They're perfect for icky messes on stovetops, in microwaves, and all over the house. For an amazing clean, try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser. And now, new Mr. Clean Magic Eraser sheets.
Only one OTC topical pain reliever's label claims were FDA approved, just like prescription medicines. Salon Pause Patch Large, uniquely labeled to treat mild to tough or moderate pain for up to 12 hours. Salon Pause, power without a prescription. There's brushing. And there's Oral-B power brushing. Oral-B just plain better.
It's not bone nut, it's the original nut.
Going electric could lead to way cleaner teeth.
And unlike Sonicare, Oral-B is the first electric toothbrush brand
So
accepted by
that
the
being
FDA.
said,
Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Taking the conference room.
Show them you're ready to be your own boss. That's the beauty of your smile. Bring out the best in it with Crest 3D White. Crest removes 95% of surface stains in just 2 days.
so we'll go out in the shop and get the glue, and I will be right back.
Lysol Max Cover kills 99.9% of bacteria, even on soft surfaces. One more way you've got what it takes to protect.
Performance is your perfection. You excel in bringing the best out of people and teams to discover their true potential, but you strive to take the next step in your career. GCU's PhD in Performance Psychology online degree program gives you the tools you need to elevate your performance to the next level, and do it all within your tight schedule. When human excellence meets cutting-edge technology, business advances.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu/online.
Planning for retirement? Quick. What's your most valuable asset? No, not these. It's time. Because time gives you more opportunity for growth. So don't waste another minute. Go to personalcapital.com now for a retirement planner that takes the guesswork out of retirement. A dashboard that shows you all your accounts in one place, even your net worth, all in real time. You'll get all these free retirement and investing tools, plus wealth management options. Join at personalcapital.com.
I never thought I'd say this, but I found bladder leak underwear that's actually pretty. Always Discreet Boutique. Hidden inside is a super absorbent core that quickly turns liquid to gel, so I feel protected and pretty. Always Discreet Boutique.
I know you can hear me, Q. Come back. Q!
You're wasting your time.
He's the only one who can save Egypt.
No, he isn't. You're going back to that ship you attacked. We're going to apologize for what you did, and you're going to plead with them for the information we need to save Egypt.
Look at what they did to him. If I go back, they'll do the same to me.
What do you care? By this time tomorrow, you'll be an amoeba.
Well, I'd rather be an amoeba than a corpse.
That would be easier, wouldn't it? No one to person to live up to. No one to disappoint.
I'm a failure as a Q and a human. If I'm a single-cell organism, at least I can't hurt anybody.
Why did you come back here?
Okay, we got the glue.
Gave the Chokuza.
You could have used your technology to take you anywhere. But you came back here to
We'll
us.
see how the fit is.
Why?
I probably hit the wrong control. Egypt is the only friend I've ever had. I brought him back here because I thought you could save him. Obviously, I was mistaken.
The only mistake you made was running away. You have the chance
But he's the one who's dying. I take full responsibility for what happened. I'll do anything you ask.
Okay, there we go. It's a little better. Okay, we want to check it for fit first. So, yeah, you check it for fit.
I suppose I am.
You don't need to put gobs and gobs and gobs of glue. You just, you know, you put what you need, and that's it. No more, no less.
She didn't have anything to do with it.
In our culture, adults are accountable for the actions of their children.
I attacked your ship. I should be punished for it.
Boy, I can't get the glue out so far.
Might be torture.
Oh man. Oops, 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 oops. Glue goes a long way. You just want placement. You're not trying to like
Well done, Junior.
super glue it in there. You know?
I'm proud of you. Surprise! I wish you could see the look on your faces. Oh wait, you can.
We don't have time for your games. We need to find the real people I attacked.
You just did. I was the Turkuzan you fired on.
What kind of horrible joke?
Not a joke. A test. I knew the pathetic little exercises you had him performing would not impress him.
Okay.
So when he escaped your clutches, I devised a real test.
Be careful not to get glue anywhere else.
You passed with flying colors.
Make sure there's no glue on the hands to get all over
Doctor will discover you've made a miraculous
freshly polished, you know,
We're all finished here.
area.
It's Judgment Day for Junior.
Press down if there's any that squeeze out. I got a little tissue thing in my pocket here.
We're ready, Your Honor.
In the case of the Continuum versus Q, we, the Continuum, have found that Q has
I'm just gonna stand here and push down on it for a minute or so.
reinstatement of his powers.
Objection. What about my test?
What about it?
I need to let go a minute.
Himself to save his friend.
Get my drink.
It was Q who endangered the boy's life in the first place. However,
Make sure it's centered. You feel both sides and make sure there's nothing overlapping. Make sure it's a little centered.
instead, he will suffer the next worst fate. Remaining human.
Oh, mercy.
Is adjourned.
Meantime, I can take a look. Very carefully pick up my pickups. And check them. That one looks good.
Next on H&I. Start
I think that's gonna work.
followed by Hunter, then Renegade. Right here.
So when I put them back in the on the pickups, I need to be really careful. When I put them, fit them back, I need to be really careful because I don't want to, when I tighten down the screws, I don't want to re-crack the crack. Sometimes that happens. That happened on a guitar that I worked on a while back, if you guys remember. I just couldn't save the pickup bezel, so I got another one. And put it on there. You gotta do what you gotta do, and then that's it. You know?
Simplify your skincare routine without sacrificing results. Try Olay Total Effects for a 7-in-1 solution. Its unique formula is packed with vitamin B3, E, and C to naturally renew skin cells for a visibly healthy glow. In fact, a single dose provides more vitamin B3 than 50 cups of kale, which is proven to improve 7 key areas of visibly healthy skin. Save time and money on your skin routine with Olay Total Effects. Brand power helping you buy better.
Okay, I think I've held it down long enough. I'll hold it down a little longer. My fingers are starting to hurt.
Do you have a moment? A few days ago, you
I'll wash my hands after this and take a little bathroom break.
I know I've made a few mistakes since then. And you probably don't want me around.
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'd like to continue my training.
But you have nothing left to prove to the Continuum.
There's a lot I still need to prove to you.
What about your father?
You and
honestly believe we'll see him again, Vic. He obviously doesn't want me around. Why else would he want me here? Twice.
The question you should be asking is why I keep coming back. Now, I'm sorry I left so abruptly, but the continuum verdict demanded an immediate appeal. I told them I refused to belong to any continuum. They wouldn't accept my son as a member. We're a package deal.
You left the continuum for me?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I'm the only one holding that place together. And when they realized they might lose me, they crumbled like a Gelbian sand sculpture.
They're going to return my powers?
They already have.
For you, Captain. For all your help.
Thank you.
Now that you're at Q again, I thought we might spend some quality time together. I want to show you the cosmos the way it was meant to be seen.
We've tried that already.
Things will be different this time. I promise. Now run along. I'll meet you on Goldus Prime. After I've had a few moments of running with the captain.
I'll see you soon, Aunt Kathy.
I certainly hope so. So, the continuum crumbled like a Gelbian sand sculpture.
Yes. Some of them even got on their knees and begged me to stay. It was pathetic. If you must know, I had to agree to a few minor conditions.
Oh, such as?
Eternal custody of the boy. Wherever the little brat goes, I go with him.
I hope you won't spoil too much of your fun.
Oh, before I leave, I did a little homework for you. Consider it a thank you for everything you did for Junior.
Not that I don't appreciate it, but this will only take a few years off our journey. Why not send us all the way?
What sort of an example would I be setting for my son if I did all the work for you?
Okay, everyone. I'm back. I'll change the camera view because I changed shirts to the other shirt that my friend James Kottak gave me. So here's his other shirt that he gave me. Kottak Attack. It's kind of hard to show the back, but I will. And I didn't show you the back of the first shirt, but now that I took it off and changed, I can show you the back of it. I'll stand up to do it so I can see what I'm doing here. And you can see it says, pretty cool. It's their 30th anniversary of Kingdom Come. And all the members' names. Show you the front again real quick. And then at the end of this video, I'll take the shirt off and switch them again, and then show you the back of this one again. You can see both of them. Really cool shirts. I think he's got a whole bunch of them. I'm going to ask him for like a couple of dozen each, and then I'll hand them out when I go to guitar conventions. I got some guitar conventions coming up, amplifier conventions coming up, so I can really help promote him. Again, this is Kottak, James Kottak Attack. Again, he is from Scorpions, Warrant, and Kingdom Come, etc. Really cool guy. So let's get back to the guitar. And you see the computer I'm using for streaming, which is an HP Star Wars edition. Okay, so let's get back to work here. And I'll change the camera view. I think I can finish this in another hour. And for some reason I can't finish because I don't like to make these videos more than about 3 hours long total. then I can continue it tomorrow. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. I can do it. I could do it. I want to look at the back of these pickups again. And to do that, I'm going to have to pick it up. It says rhythm and then patent number. And it looks like it says zebra color. But somebody hand etched on the back of this. It says zebra color. And I'll be able to see it better on the pictures. It says something on the top too. Oh man, I suppose I could take some polish. My old, it says my old something, my old H-O, my old hum? No, H-O-N-C. That's what it looks like it says. I know it probably doesn't say that, but really interesting. I mean, on these pickups, very interesting. Looks like the other one says about the same thing, zebra. And it's got another number on the side of it. So these might be special, extra special pickups. So I really need to take attention to these pictures, to these pickups, and if I need to take better pictures of them, I will. I think I'll take some light polish and polish the back of them. Doing that won't ruin it or anything. It will just, you know, because they're a little bit dirty. They've been, you know, laying around a while. So I think I'll take a little bit of polish and polish that and see. I really want to take an extra note to these pickups because these might be something extra special, and he didn't mention anything about it, so I'm not sure he knew or remembered or whatever. So we're going to clean these up a little better and you know, see what these say, or try and see what these say. If I have to take a second picture of them, I will. I gotta polish the bottom of that corner because it says it's etched with something else there in the bottom too. It's hand etched with like a Dremel or something. So I don't want to polish too much on it. I won't take the etching off, but I don't want to make it worse either. I know I'm getting my fingerprints all over my polish job again, but I kind of feel like I have no choice because I really want to be attentive to these pickups. I'm going to take a secondary picture now that I polished it again. So. Okay. Now we got a better picture. Now I'll do the same to the other one and polish it up. A little better, and then take rhythm, and then the other one I think says treble on it actually. One says rhythm because I can see now where one says rhythm. So. Okay, well, we might be into something here really cool. So, like I said, if I have to make this video a second day, I will. Reason being because I want those bezels to glue well. So I don't want where I really have to polish kind of hard on this other corner here because it's. Ooh, careful. we'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna make any promises here. Zebra color coils.
They would appear to be
Old. Oh man. It says something else. Old. My old something. You never know when a pickup can be a special one-off wound, or a prototype, or you know, something of the like. So you wanna, while it's a part, you want to take extra attention. You know, is all I'm saying. Because you just never know if something's special. My old phone number. And then it's got an arrow pointing to the patent number. That's interesting. Rhythm. My old phone number. Interesting. Very interesting. I am dumbfounded as to that. But I'm going to take another picture now that I've polished the back of it a little more. I'm going to be real careful because what did I do? Oh, okay. Oh, it was upside down. What did I do the picture? I don't know. Shoot. Oh man, come on. I want these pictures to be okay, nice. I mean, it's hard to. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna have to refer back to my pictures because I don't know how I did the other one. Oh, that's because the bezel was on. Okay. Alright, okay, here's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to do it like this then. Okay, so, alright, okay, alright. I'm going to be extra careful to take really good macro pictures of these pickups. Nope. Flash. The flash flashed back on the pickup.
Do you intend to shoot me, Major?
Nope. Okay, come on.
The senior officers have shown a lot of improvement, but I think they can do better. With your permission, I'd like to schedule some more target practice.
Nope, that's no good either. Okay. Sometimes I have to take multiples because... Okay, there we go. Because these pickups could be special. You just, you never know. I mean, I fully expected these to be just standard Epiphone pickups, but they are Gibson pickups, and they are factory soldered. I'm looking at the factory soldering, and when I had it flipped over and had a picture of the cavity and had the cavity open, everything was factory soldered. So I'm quite dumbfounded as to these pickups, which is unusual for me. I don't get dumbfounded about things very easily, as you guys know. I take pride in my 35 plus years of experience and knowledge with things. So very, very interesting, to say the least. Okay, I'm going to pick these back up. I'm going to polish, wipe them off, and set them back in the cavity. So I can do the bridge and all that good stuff.
31 infant primates. Would you want to torch them? As if they're trying to destroy Earth because they heard that humans are ruthless. This is a chance to prove them wrong.
We can bring the eggs aboard, reconfigure one of the cargo bays.
I already got the thought. He says they're integrated into the hatchery walls. If we remove them, they'll die. Sir?
This is crazy. These people are trying to kill us.
This isn't open for discussion. I'll lead the engineering team. I need you up here to help.
Okay, That's good. I just need to lay them in there. I don't need to go too fancy with this. I don't know if I'm gonna finish tonight now. Might be a two-nighter. Because now I get the feeling I don't want to rush. For one reason, the pickup bezels. And, you know, I still got to put the setup on it. I still got, you know, quite a few things to do. So, I gotta polish the bezel. I mean, the bezel. Polish the, ooh, maybe I need to take that back. I'm polishing the truss rod cover. And it looks like it still has the factory protective plastic over the truss rod cover. Could be wrong. I need to double check here. Nope, I was wrong. Okay. Well, yes, folks. Sometimes I am wrong. Okay.
Nothing, just blank.
Nothing? There's nothing there?
Absolutely nothing.
Flip down those tack glasses and look again.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. There was nothing, and then it just appears an American Eagle.
It's absolutely insane.
Can you read that 5 pound at the bottom right there? Landed a 3 and
I really can't wait to have him back. I'm going to try and have James back. James Kottak back soon. Sooner than later now. Because now I'm very curious. Maybe I can prod him more a little bit on the history of this guitar. And then I will update the description.
To get your flip-up tack glasses for only $19.99 with free shipping, call 1-800-309-2101. That's 1-800-309-2101 or visit us online at flipupglasses.com. That's 1-800-309-2101 or visit us at flipupglasses.com.
I had a few good tricks to help hide my bladder leak pad.
Oh man, what am I doing? I need to take this back off because
it turns liquid to gel.
my, I'm going so fast. I'm so excited about this guitar. I forgot to check the truss rod adjustment. Yeah, okay. Well, not a big deal. We'll see if we can just push this to the side. See, like that. Well, you didn't see it because I didn't have the camera. So I just unscrewed it and I pushed the, swiveled the cover over. So, okay. I don't want to forget anything pertinent. So here we go. Check that truss rod adjustment. What's going on? I need a flashlight in there because something's going on. Oh my. Oh my. Wow, the truss rod is extremely loose. Not just a little, but extremely. So that tells me one thing. That tells me that this guitar has been very subject to heat, hot and cold, which means he told me he has storage units, so it was probably in and out of a storage unit maybe. It's not real loose, but it's pretty darn loose, you can see. I mean, it's just kind of flopping around in there. So I will give it a basic factory adjustment here. One more.
January 8th, 2154. We've been in orbit for more than a day.
Wow, that's the loosest truss rod I have encountered in quite a long time. not a bad thing or a big deal. It's just hasn't been checked, maybe ever. So we'll slide this back like that, and then go ahead and put the screws back in. It was pretty darn loose. I mean, it wasn't just hand loose. I mean, it was flopping loose. It had a gap between the truss rod nut head and the adjustment. So, wow, on that. Okay. So that should make a difference in playability.
We can't initialize the engines without it. What about the ship on the surface? You might be able to salvage what we need.
Okay. Yeah, not a big deal. I mean, it happens. A lot of people, and even techs, neglect checking the truss rod. I almost did. I'm so excited about having this guitar that I'm like, woo! Forgetting the truss rod adjustment. So, alright, there we go. Checked. Yeah, okay. Much better. Okay, I'll move the camera view back. Okay, now we will do the bridge adjusters. My. A little something caught in one of the grooves here. I'm going to take a razor blade and check that. A little, oh, there it goes. Piece of something up in there. I don't know what, but now it's gone, so it doesn't matter.
If you don't mind my saying, you look as if you could use some rest. We've got to get the repairs finished. I'm sure in a few hours. Contact me if you find anything else.
Okay, and then we just screw it back in. Take my screwdriver and screw it back in all the way. And then take the next one. Do my best to finish this guitar tonight, even if this video runs a little long, because I want to take pictures of it tomorrow and get this online, the pictures of it. And because I told him I was going to work on this tonight, so I kind of semi-promised him. These need to be adjusted down a little, I just noticed. I'll screw it in, and just because I don't want to put any tool marks. I don't like tool marks. And doing that can put what's called tool marks. And a tool mark can be anything from a screwdriver to the jaws of a pair of pliers, anything that you do like that to make a mark on a part, and that can really reduce the value of a guitar. Now, yeah, you can replace, if you put a tool mark on a part, you can replace the part, but then in turn, you make it not original. So I just want to pound these in a little bit further. And by that I mean the stud inserts. They were just kind of raised up a little tiny bit. And when I pound, I don't pound at an angle and put an angle tool mark. I pound straight up and down like this. And that helps. And I'll do it to the other ones when I polish those. Okay. So it's these little things that one can do and you can do to help the longevity of the performance of a part and the value of a guitar and the parts, the original parts. I mean, everything on this guitar except the tuners are original. And I am going to ask him, just for the sake of asking him, if he has the original tuners, just to have them. I won't take these tuners off because the holes, new holes have already been drilled for the set screws, so there would be not much point in replacing the original tuner, so I won't do that.
See if you can look at anything about their burial rituals.
You plan to hold a funeral?
Okay. You want to hold your screwdrivers with 2 hands, because you don't want to hold it with one and then make a slip and then go like that, because you would be you'd be bouncing off the walls mad at yourself for many months and years if you made a mark or a scratch or whatever on a guitar. I learned that very early on in my teens working on guitars. One of my own, so it wasn't a customer's I was working on or anything, but one of my own, and it was just a Fender Mexican Strat, and I put a scratch in it, and I was bouncing off the walls, kicking myself. Still to this day, really, that I put that scratch on there with a screwdriver, because I didn't hold my screwdriver with 2 hands. So, yeah. You want to make sure you always make sure your studs are in before you let go of it, because if you let go of it and it's not partially screwed in by a thread or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and you let go of it, it will come out and it will bounce off the surface of the guitar, again putting little marks down it. So you don't want to do that. Just go slow. Make sure your screwdriver is straight. And you want to use, especially on these tailpiece studs, you want to use the right size screwdriver. See how my slot matches the width of the slot? You want to use that and not, say, one like this that's not even close, because you'll put 4 little marks on the edges of the studs. And for one thing, if your hand comes across it, it can scratch your hand, cut your hand up. If you leave it, it doesn't look good, so that it makes many problems. Now these, since these are chrome top and I don't want to mar them, I'll put my rag across the top of it. Use the brass side, so that way I don't mar it, because if I did it without this, I will put tool marks on it. There we go. Now I will double check and look and make sure I didn't put any tool marks. No tool marks. So there you go on that. Okay, now I will do the bridge. I'll grab a fresh water or juice to drink and I'll be right back.
Behind every unhinged, egotistical genius, believe the crap people let me get away with, there is a calm, level-headed voice of reason. You're an idiot. Pals, all day Tuesday, starting at 11 a.m., 10 Central, on H&I.
Tired of your old frying pan? Well, stay tuned to get a free state-of-the-art frying pan from Gotham Steel. Yes, you heard us right. Free.
I'm Chef Daniel Greenhead with Gotham Steel, the newest technology in non-stick cookware made with ceramic and super strong titanium. Stronger than ever before. It's literally like cooking on air. Everything slides right off.
Okay, I'm back. Now, something I thought of was the switch. When I first plugged it in, if you guys remember, it was pretty staticky and crackly and poppy. when making when actuating it. So if that's an issue, once we're done with the guitar tonight or tomorrow, I will go ahead and unscrew it and take it out and clean the contacts and put it back. It should be okay, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So again, to reiterate, this is a 1998 Epiphone limited edition Studio Les Paul, or Les Paul Studio. And I got it from a friend of mine today, James Kottak, from the Scorpions, Warrant, Kingdom Come, of Celebrity. He's a really cool guy, really great guy. And I got this guitar from him today. And he was very, very kind and very, very generous to come and deliver it to me, even. So I wholeheartedly thank him, up one side and down the other, for doing that. He kind of had a rough day. I'll leave it at that. And so he came to me anyway. So I pay him back when he has time. I want to take him and out to lunch and have him sign this guitar, autograph it, and we'll take pictures together with it, which I suppose I should have done today, but I know he was kind of backed up on time, so I didn't want to hold him back another 5 or 10 minutes to take some pictures. I'm sure he would have, but quite sure he's a busy man, so I didn't want to monopolize his entire day. You know? So yeah. But I think we're going to do business again in the future, so I have no doubt of that. He said he has more guitars, so I'm hoping we do business again that way. So yeah. I just noticed something else about this guitar and the bridge. All the saddles are pointed one way. Usually with these, 3 of the saddles are pointed one way, and then the other 3 are in quote-unquote backwards, or the opposite direction. And then one of the edges is like shaved off, because they're pointy, so when you lay your hand across a bridge, like this, that can dig into your hand, and you feel it one side here, it's sharp. So I've done this tactic too, where you just take a little file and you round off, or you edge off one of the edges on the low end or the high end, or both. It looks like that's what somebody did. I think that was done later. That wasn't done at the factory, that's for sure. So that's cool that somebody did that. That's pretty neat. I approve. Classic guitar approved. That's for sure. Classic guitar approved. Yeah. Okay, this is the original bridge too. It's the B2 B2 model number bridge. Nothing fancy, just kind of a factory stock bridge. Nothing too rave about, but they're good. I like them.
You can't have senior officers behaving like that, especially on a mission this important. Maybe you ought to confine me to quarters too, sir. Because I'm still not sure we're doing the right thing here. If the roles are reversed, I can't imagine these things would do the same for us. My great-grandfather was in North Africa during the Eugenics Wars. His battalion was evacuating civilians from
Now, a lot of times I have to take these bridges apart. Once I take it off the guitar, and then take it apart, and then take the parts apart to clean it. But this one is in pretty good shape, so it's really neat that somebody filed off the edge of the low E string, and then all of the saddles are pointed one way, except the low E is pointed the opposite direction. So that's quite interesting. And I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to, I'm not going to put it to a factory default setting, because it may very well have come from the factory like that. I don't know. And since I don't know, I'm not going to mess with it. Especially when you're dealing with a celebrity-owned guitar or pre-celebrity-owned guitar. If something that you see is different other than factory, you don't want to mess with it. Just leave it. Just leave it be. Because it's better to leave it be and be wrong and then correct it later than say, well, I'm going to take it apart and put it factory. And then be wrong later and then discover you shouldn't have messed with it. Because now you've altered it, and now you've changed the performance of it for one thing, and you've changed the value of it, especially if it came from the factory like that. Now, do I have evidence it came from the factory like that? No, I do not. But again, I'd rather leave it like that way and be wrong leave it that way and be right than be wrong later after changing it and being wrong, if that makes sense. So, that being said, I'm just about done cleaning this sucker. Boy, does it look spiffy. We're at 2 hours and 25 minutes. And we got about 30 minutes left to do on this video. Don't think I'm going to finish tonight. I might, but we'll see. I don't want to rush, and I don't want to really feel that nut. Nut feels pretty good, so I might be able to finish this tonight. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, what next? Okay, we'll polish the tailpiece, which is this right here, tailpiece, which is original. I can tell it's original. So let's. Ooh, I still gotta find a screw for that one side, which shouldn't take too long. I got a whole stock of them, so. I should be able to find that right quick.
We both know he's endangering this ship and our mission.
San Francisco has it all. Fast cars, beautiful women, and a whole lot of crime. Good thing there's a cop light. Nash. Ron Johnson is Nash Bridges. All day tomorrow, starting at 11, 10 Central. Part of the day shift, right here on H&I.
Looking to simplify your skincare routine without sacrificing results?
Oh, come on now. Well, that's alright. I'm gonna... Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'll worry about that aspect later. Okay. Back to what I was doing. Okay, we will polish the tailpiece, which is original. This is a pretty cool guitar, and sometimes as you go through a guitar that I'm working on, I can reassess it and reappraise it, and if it's something I'm going to sell, I can go, well, ooh, I found an option on it that makes it worth a little bit more, so on and so forth. So, I know earlier I said I would probably put about $500 on this. Now that I'm reassessing it, I'm thinking probably more like $600 or $700. Reason being the pickups in it. Even if they're just nothing special, Gibson 21-year-old pickups, they're still worth about $100 a piece. So that adds about another $200 to the value of the guitar. That being said, so I think if I were selling this guitar, now I'm up to about $700. And if I'm able to get James Kottak's autograph on it and a full spread of pictures with him or me or us holding the guitar together, that can add another $100 to $200 in value on it. At that point, I would probably just not sell the guitar because it would be so awesome to me. I would just not want to sell it, even if somebody offered me $1,000 for it. And I have guitars like that. I have some guitars from C.C. DeVille, some guitars from the Raskins, guitars from Pete Vegas, from Redbone, basses and stuff, and that would just, realistically, they have a market value of, say, $500 to $1,000. But if somebody offered me $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 for it, I probably wouldn't take it because they have, sentimental value to me too. And I would just not sell them for that much, unless I was like desperate for money or something. But yeah. Yeah. So okay, now we can put the no, I can't put the bridge back yet because the bezels are still off the guitar. So I don't want to get ahead of myself like I almost did a while ago with the truss rod cover. So don't want to do that. Oh my. I need to find another screw for the front pickup because we had the screw that was one screw that was missing. Dang it, that really sucks. It was missing. I'm not happy about that, but oh well. What can we do? Okay, all right. That being said, I'm going to stop this video probably in another 20 minutes. At this point, I don't think I'm going to finish tonight. So if this is a two-nighter project, I would rather have it a two-night project than rush it and then make a mistake or break something or damage something because I'm in a rush. I'm not really in a rush with this guitar, so again, that being said, we'll check the bezels. We'll see how the bezels are doing. I think the bezels are good. Back bezel feels good. Let's check the front bezel. Front bezel feels good. So I think I can put the bezels back. I'll take a quick little minute or two break here, and I can wash my hands and then reassemble the pickups and go from there. Excuse me. Here's the knobs. These are original knobs to the guitar. They're white, clear with white background. Very cool original knobs. You don't see knobs like this too often. So I'm definitely not going to change those. I mean, I have zero reason to change those. Other than that, there's no problems, issues, or glitches with this guitar. The only thing I can foresee is recracking the pickup bezels, or a problem with this three-way switch still staticky, snappy, crackly, poppy. When we go to test play it. So, you know, thinking about it, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to work it, because sometimes just simply working the switch or a knob or a pot can clean it up. Maybe it's got a little dust bunny in there, maybe it's got a little hair in there, maybe it's got a little fleck of paint or a little splinter of wood, and just simply working it back and forth, not heavily but vigorously. With these switches, you want to go back and forth, and you can go the opposite direction just a little bit like this. Even, it doesn't switch this way, but you can just kind of work it back and forth a little bit. And sometimes you can blow a little poof of your breath down there to jar loose any little dust bunny or little paint chip or little sliver of wood that may be caught up in there. And then just when you're done, leave it alone, and then you can work the pots back and forth. It's harder to work the pots back and forth with the knobs off, but you can do it. Or you can take a screwdriver and do it, which I don't necessarily recommend, because if your screwdriver slips, then you're going to go like that. You don't want to do that. Yeah, I'm not going to do it, because it's just, this guitar is too special to me to even take a 0.01% chance on something going wrong. So I'm not going to do that. Okay, at any rate. I think in a couple of minutes or so I will get up, wash my hands, and try and reassemble the pickups. In the meantime, I can look for a fresh replacement for the adjuster screw. And if I find another one, it's probably not going to visually match this one in terms of patina, so I will just replace both of them. So I'll look in my part stock right now and see what I can readily find. So let's do that now. Ooh, see what I can see what I have. I know I have a lot of them, so I'm not worried about not being able to find them. I'm definitely not worried about not being able to find them, because I have many. I have many. Oh. Okay, let's see. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Oh man, yeah, those are different. And then we got these that are. Yeah. Okay. Well. Alright, let's see. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, let's see what I can find. I know I have some.
since you take it at night, we added time-release melatonin for deep, restful sleep. Find out for yourself and keep us client results at GNC.
A lot of bezels here. Trying to not make noise because they've got people sleeping still.
This is a Starfleet ship. I'm gonna have to have you ready for
Between him and the antimatter should be the price.
we could have a firefight on our hands. The captain. This will be people here before it begins.
Oh, that's a black bass.
Who's on duty in the army?
Yeah. Okay, well, I didn't want to do this, but I have a box of about 40 brand spanking new Epiphone pickups here that I got from a friend of mine last summer. And in fact, I contacted him recently, and he has another box of them that I'm going to buy. And as you can see, it has the springs and the screws. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the screws, because I have the springs, and they don't quite match because this is what's called an extra slot screw. It's not a Phillips. You can use a flat or a Phillips. It's not going to match. I don't necessarily like that, but I will use them, and I will use them for now. And at some point, if I rummage through my vintage selection of pickups and pickup bezels and all that good stuff, I will find an original set of late 80s, early 90s pickup adjustment screws. So I will just take this one for now, and I will test it in the thread and make sure it's the same thread, because if it's not the same thread, I'm not going to use it, because I don't want to mess up the threads of the original pickups. So that being said, I don't want to do that. Now see, these screws are pretty common. So when I go to use this pickup for a guitar at some point, I can replace these screws far, 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 far easier. Because they're a common screw that you can get at any hardware store. You know, I can use that at any point. I can replace that. Okay, so I'm gonna pick the pickup up. Yeah, I know, I'm gonna get my fingerprints on it again. I'm gonna test it in the hole and make sure the threads are the same. It's really difficult to do right now for some reason. Oh no. I think the threads are different. I'll go the opposite. Go in through the back, because the threads are the same no matter what. Oh no. Threads are different, I think. It's a smaller screw. I know what size it is now. Oh my. That is not cool. Ooh, man. Yep, different size. It is one size down. I can't use it. Yep, it's a different size. Son of a mother. Shoot. Okay. That really sucks. I'll try it again just to make sure. No, I can tell. I can tell it's not the right one. Darn it. Okay, wow. I'm gonna have to search more. So that, because there are about 3 different sizes. They look the same, but they're not the same. So that being said, I'm definitely not going to finish this guitar tonight now. That really stinks, but I'd rather do a correct job and a right job than rush. I mean, I could make it fit. I could screw it in there and just make it fit. But I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do, you want to do the job right, even if it takes you an entire extra day. You always want to do the job right. Come on, rethread. Come on, there we go. So, makes my job a little bit tougher, but that's okay. Like I said, I'd rather this project and video take an extra day than do the job wrong, just for the sake of getting it done. So, there is that. Now some people might say, well man, just finish it up, just do it, just screw it in. Just screw it in, it'll fit. And you know what, yeah, I could force it and make it fit and then call it done. But that's what somebody does who doesn't know what they're doing, who does a bad job, a wrong job, a quick job, a half-assed job, a shade tree job, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to do it like that. I don't do that on any guitar, whether it's a $100 guitar or a $1,000 guitar or a $10,000 guitar, and so on. I just don't do that. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. So I mean, is it a shame that I can't finish it tonight like I wanted to? Yeah, sure. Of course it is. But again, I'd rather do the job right than do the job wrong. And if I have to go to Harbor Freight or Home Depot, Lowe's, all my places that I go for nuts, bolts, screws, and washers, King Bolt, A to Z fasteners to find the right size, the right look, the right type, then that's what I'll do. I'll drive 50 miles total to find the right part. That's just who I am, and that's what I do. So, yeah. Let's see, what else can I do? I can polish the pickguard. I'll do that. That doesn't mean I need to stop. I just continue on with some other aspect here. So we'll do that. We'll do the pickguard. Just perloid, white. Let's see, how many ply is it? It is 2 ply. It's very thick, but it's only 2 ply, but it's very thick. So we'll do that right now. So yeah, doing the job right the first time around is a lot better than doing a rush job, because this is a guitar I don't need to, you know, get out and get done tomorrow, because I'm eager to sell it. You know, it just isn't. I can wait. I'm patient. I'm a patient person. I can wait. I can wait to get it done. It's just that simple. Rather do it right. You always want to do the job right the first time. Well, like I said, a lot of people will criticize me for that and say, well, it's only an Epiphone. It's not worth $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. Just cram it in there and get it done. You know what? No, I don't care. This is a pre-celebrity owned guitar. It's an important guitar. So I'm gonna treat it as if I'm gonna treat it as if it is $1,000 guitar, or a $2,000 guitar, or a $3,000 guitar, because that's how I treat all guitars. And people appreciate that, especially when they're buying a guitar from me and they watch one of these videos and they see, you know, if somebody's buying a guitar from me, I point them out to the video that I made for said guitar, and they go, wow, man, you're really attentive and you take great care in what you do, more so than if you just take your guitar to somewhere else to have the work done, and some kid works on it who doesn't necessarily know what they're doing, and you know, they do a rush job. So okay, so pick guard is done and polished and ready to go back on. So we'll set that aside, and that'll be ready for tomorrow. Let's see, what else could I do? I've done all about I can do on this guitar tonight. I could polish the knobs, but I think I'll save that, and I will let these bezels glue overnight. Here, I'll show you. The bezels, they're not glued to this board, obviously. I'm just using that to set them on. So they can glue overnight and help the glue can cure a little better tonight. So yeah. So we're not gonna finish tonight, but that's okay. We're just about 3 hours. I think I'm gonna have probably about 2 hours into this tomorrow, maybe 2.5. So we're gonna have a total of about 5.5 hours into this guitar in terms of labor, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm fine with that because I want to do it right. Want to do it right. Want to do it right. So yeah. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I will switch out my shirts so I can show you this shirt that he gave me. So I will off camera stand up and swap out shirts. And and then I can show you the back of this shirt a little bit better than what I did before. Okay. I swapped out shirts, so I will show you again the shirt that I swapped out earlier, and this is the other shirt that he gave me today. Whoops. Let me get it straight first of all. These are brand new, so. Oops. So I will get ready, and yeah. So here it is. So Kottak Attack, and on the back of it, rock and roll forever.
which is his tattoo that he has on his back, I believe, if memory serves. And this is the first shirt I had on, which is his group, Kingdom Come. So thank you for joining me for this very special edition of Classic Guitar on this 1998 Epiphone limited edition Les Paul Studio in light blue. We'll just call it light blue for now, because a lot of people will contact me and say, no, that's teal, no, that's seafoam green, or no, that's sky blue, or so on. So I will have to officially look up the color. To me, it is sky blue. To me, it's sky blue. That's probably what it officially is. So we'll continue this guitar tomorrow on this very special guitar from my good friend James Kottak of Scorpions and Warrant and Kingdom Come, etc. He's a really good guy. Check him out, and we will finish this very, very special Epiphone limited edition Les Paul Studio, 1998. It's 21 years old, so technically it's an antique. It's actually in very good condition. It's all original for not the tuners. I'm going to ask him if he has the original tuners. He probably doesn't, but I'll ask him just for the sake of asking him and eliminating that possibility of him having the original tuners. But I doubt it. I do have a set of original 1987, 8, 9, 90 tuners I could swap out for them, but I'm not going to do it. They're in there. They're good. I'm just going to leave it. That doesn't affect the value of it in terms of monetary value too much. They're very good tuners. They're German Schalers, so they're good tuners. So I'm going to leave them. So yeah. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. We'll continue this tomorrow, and happy guitaring.